it up, pump it up.
Trae.
Come on, come on.
With Trae.
Pump it up, pump it up.
It's the day with Trae.
This is the day to gain inspiration, to make a positive change in the nation. We're inviting you to partake in conversation, to raise your vibration. It's the day that we will all celebrate all of our peace that make this thing elevate. Watch the negative fade away, cause it's the day with Trae.
Grand Rising, everyone. Welcome to the Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. I get to welcome you to a magnificent Monday. I'm going to deem this Monday a Marquinta Monday because my guest in the building, we got Marquinta Obomanu. I got it right. And she's here to talk about her organization, SistahBoss, and this upcoming event that they have on September 20th called Making Boss Moves. Y'all, I'll be actually in the panel for the event. So I'm looking forward to diving in with her. But y'all know it's the top of the show. So this is a great time for you to help us grow by sharing the show with others who you feel could benefit from our daily dose of dopeness we give you here on the Day with Trae. And if you can't watch us, you can always listen to us anywhere you find your favorite podcast. Just search Converge Media Network and the Day with Trae. You'll find us there. Now, before I get into it with Marquinta, I got to say, this past weekend, y'all, was incredible. On Saturday, I got to host the grand opening for Waterfront Park in partnership with Friends of Waterfront Park. And, it's one of those things when you see something in development for so long and then you see it in person. Like, seeing it on paper is so different than seeing it actually in front of you. And I'm still, like, when I look from Pier 62 and I look up at the grand staircase and the aquarium and everything, I'm just still stuck on what I saw on the paper because it is so vivid. And Saturday night, y'all, the moon just crept up behind the skyline and it was amazing. Now, my phone didn't really capture what I was experiencing in person, but I did try. And it was a great reminder of, what it looks like to be in community with one another. Now, I had the privilege of being at Soul on the Water as the host, same pier, different organization organizing that outdoor concert than what was organized this past weekend. And what I can tell you is this. Y'all, we got some fire talent up here in the Seattle greater metro area and the Pacific Northwest. I'm telling y'all, amazing musicians and singers and bands and dancers. There was such an explosion of culture for this grand opening. They had Brazil in Motion doing dancing and showing like a dance style capoeira moves. It was incredible. And then they also had the Caribbean Sea Fest pop in on us, which was beautiful. Amazing procession with the jellyfish lantern procession. They had these like jellyfish lighting things on. Y'all, I'm telling you, I was just blown away. And it was such a strong reminder to me of when I'm always talking about being in community and experiencing one another. You don't know until you get out your house and get off your phone, right? And actually be in community with people that you really get to experience it. So, I've been sharing my experiences because I want to inspire y'all to have your own. There's so many great plays, art exhibits, concerts. So many great things going on within our city. And I know, for someone like me, because people tell me now this all the time, man, Trae, of course you know about all this stuff. Like, you're tapped in with all these things, but at the end of the day, you can too, right? I'm only getting a purview because people are coming here and I'm getting plugged in, but you can too. And that's actually why we always make sure that we are showing you glimpses of what you could be a part of, right? Just like my guest who's here today. And so, of course, up next after this, we got Marquinta in the building. We're going to be learning all about SistahBoss and their upcoming event on September 20th called Making Boss Moves that you can attend. So you don't want to miss these details. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
Well, on Fox Face Off, we tell the raw, unadulterated truth.
Fox Soul Face Off
We are given the platform here with no fear.
always comes out swinging.
We should be saying, hey, stop shooting and killing people.
Nothing held back.
They wanted black hip-hop moguls and artists to continue the feud.
No punches pulled.
And neighbors, you interrupt me all the time.
Tune into the show where opinions collide. Fox Soul Face Off. New episodes weeknights at 9 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
In Seattle, it's more than just coffee. It's community. At the station, we brew more than just your favorite cup. We brew connection. From Beacon Hill to Columbia City, we're a space for artists, activists, and everyone in between. A place to gather, create, and simply be. Whether you need a quiet place to work, a lively spot to meet friends, or just a moment to unwind, find your place at the station. More than coffee, it's home. Visit us in Beacon Hill.
The
or
camera,
Columbia
right?
City. The station, where community happens.
Welcome back, y'all, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Joining me right now, we got Marquinta in the building. What's up, Marquinta?
Hi, Trae. How are you?
I'm good. It's so good to see you.
Nice to see you. Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Yes.
A fellow Bulldog
You
graduate.
know,
Y'all
I'm
know
a
we love
bulldog.
Garfield.
I bleed purple. I am a bulldog all the way.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely. Well, this is exciting because I get to work with you later this month, but I'm so glad you're here to talk about the organization SistahBoss. And before we get into it, I mean, what got you saying, like, I want to do something like this? You co-founded this amazing organization with your mother.
Yes.
Give us that beginning story.
Well, it's kind of a growing story for me. So my name is Marquinta Obomanu. I'm a Seattle girl, and my mom and I have over the years just kind of talked about the struggles that Black women have had when sometimes we're the only one who's in the space. We're the only one who's in some of these executive rooms, some of these women who are leaders, but only see themselves at the big table. And so over the last couple of years or so, we've been talking about this thing and how do we find ways to connect with other Black women. And she will tell you, all through high school and through college, folks need help with the resume, getting connected. I'm like, call my mom. She's amazing with this. She's been doing leadership for so long. And when she retired, it's conversation that we were having. He said, you know, we just need something for the sisters. We need something just for Black women. And you know, something happens when you speak things out loud. When it was just the two of us, it just was this idea. But once we started to talk about it a little bit more, we saw that there was a need. So we decided to develop and launch SistahBoss. We are in our second year, and we are a leadership development resource for Black women here in the Pacific Northwest. We offer coaching, we do our leadership development programs, we have a public speaking series coming up this October, and we also do community events, which is our Making Boss Moves Legacy Summit coming up that you are a part of. We get to have your brilliant talent, space, and storytelling in the building. I'm so excited about that.
You know what? I'm just completely honored. I mean, just to hear the background of why y'all started SistahBoss and the work that you're doing. I agree, it's so vital. But I also know too that when we're, you know, kind of on the grind, oftentimes we don't make time to meet new people.
Absolutely.
I am chronic at that. I know, like I be like super hyper focused.
Yeah.
And I love this idea of like a network. You know, y'all building a network of folks who are coming to get services, but be able to connect at these community events. So
Absolutely.
It's great that you have the lineup of services that y'all offer. How are you experiencing people saying, we needed this? Like, you know, when you think about the clients you're serving and the community of Black women that over the last 2 years, tell us a bit about that response from them.
Well, it's actually in some ways surprising because it's like, you know, as a Black woman, what you feel, you know, sometimes what you experience. And I would say for Miss Mary, it's hard to say my mom when we're, you know, in workspaces together, but Miss Mary talks a lot about wanting to offer what she didn't have, wishing that she had another Black woman who could say, okay, now don't do this, or you might want to go this route, or think about how you're showing up in this space. And then it's almost the perfect connection, because myself as a young professional coming through the ranks, trying to figure out, who do I connect with? Well, how do I get into that space? How do I get into that room? And getting to know people who are new to Seattle, who they might be here just for work. And so when they're going into the office space, they don't see other people like themselves. And for example, for our public speaking series that's coming up, that's almost a space for me, working on that. And so I know if I need it and I'm talking about it and I'm connecting with other women, and when we have those sessions, similar to making boss moves, they're like, thank you so much. I wanted a space, I wanted time to be able to have these conversations. You know, work as an entrepreneur sometimes can be isolating.
Yeah.
Even work in the corporate world can also sometimes be isolating. So when you have these opportunities to come together, to learn from one another, to be in the same space, say, hey sis, I follow you on social media, you're doing great, that is affirming. It's really helpful to kind of have those collective conversations and opportunities to network where you can say, sis, I see you, I see what you're doing, I would love to know more. Or to have someone say, you're doing boss things, you are making boss moves, and we see you, and how can we be in community together? Yeah.
I really do appreciate it. And I remember when y'all reached out, I was like, oh, this is definitely my vibe. And I'm so grateful, because when we think about these kinds of opportunities and the folks that, you know, are responding in that way to you all, there is a need, right? There is a need, and your organization is fulfilling that need. And sometimes I think we think, oh, do I really need that?
Right.
But I love that there are people now who are doing enough self-analysis to say, no, I know that I need to go in this direction. I know that this is what's going to help propel me, instead of trying to do it on their own.
Absolutely.
I also think, too, there's something really special about the local nature of SistahBoss. Because right now we have access to so many things on the internet, and this, you know, we're now a global, everything is global because of our access to each other on the World Wide Web, right? So tell me about the importance that you and Miss Mary really understood in terms of like, no, we need to create this for folks here in the Pacific Northwest.
Well, I think because we are both from Seattle, we can understand, you know, what that metric, what that feels like, and the community has changed so much, right? You don't have the same Black community connection as we did when we were growing up and when our parents were growing up. So you kind of have to do some work to figure out, how do I meet and how do I connect with, especially coming out of COVID. You know, we see each other on social media or over on LinkedIn, but we wanted to provide opportunities for Black women to be in the same space, to speak the same language. Some of us have family members that are your support, but they might not be able to connect and support you when it comes to your professional journey. So how can we find opportunities for Black women to come together, to learn together, and talk about some of those situations that you might not speak out loud if you were in the space with some other folks, right? There's some conversations we can have when it's just Black women in the room. And so we wanted to make sure that through our coaching, which is remote, that way we can connect with women who can't physically come to spaces. We're finding ways to do workshops in person, because it makes a difference. There's something magical that happens when Black people and Black women especially are in the room together. Now, it's no secret that Black women have been holding down for a long time. That is not any new news, but finding a way to go outside of just it being a sisterhood of social connection, we want to focus specifically on leadership development. How many people do we know that's been in a position or gotten elevated to a new role without having any prior training? How many people have now started a business and are starting new things but don't know exactly what way to go in that? So being able to provide opportunity and resources as it pertains to your leadership journey is what we are all about.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's great work, Marquinta, and that brings us to this amazing event, Making Boss Moves. This is exciting because you really curated a panel of Black women who are doing just that. Tell us a bit about what you really want folks to get out of this event, whether it's a panelist like myself or the folks who are in the audience?
Well, we started Making Boss Moves in 2023, so this is our second offering of the event, and we wanted to elevate it a little bit more and now do it as a legacy summit. And we've heard the word legacy quite a bit recently, and that means something different for every single individual. And so for our summit, we have breakout sessions, but I am so excited about our panel discussion. Personally, I'm a person who learns from other folks' experiences. If I can know, Trae, what your story is, how are you balancing it all? How did you decide to go in this direction? That's a conversation that I love to have. And so it's such an honor to have you be a part of our panel discussion and being along with other amazing Black women. We have a chef and we have folks from the education sector and mental health. And the conversation really is around breaking cycles and creating generational health. Yes. Right? We talk about generational wealth quite a bit and what that means in terms of our finances and what we leave for our children or what our parents left for us. But we wanted to put a little bit of a twist on that. And really, yes, it's a play on words, but generational health is really important because outside of what you're doing financially, for your family or to kind of build your own legacy, how are we breaking some of these cycles? How are we dealing with traumas? How are we doing some self-care? What is the conversation around mental health? So the idea is that we are creating this new way of existing. We are creating this conversation now around, I might be established in where I am in my career, but what am I going to do? What's my footprint? What's that going to do for the people that I'm connecting with and the people that I'm impacting on a daily basis? So I am so excited. Women can expect opportunities to engage, connect with other Black women, learn some new things, learn how to get connected in their community, get resources with finances, and honestly be around good energy.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm excited. I don't know if you could tell me.
Well, I am too,
Yes.
clearly. I mean, this is exciting for me because I think there's a lot of realms in terms of like I said, just being hyper focused on goals and like moving the work forward. But to be able to share it is so important to me. And even along the journey, I mean, so much that we learn is really through experience.
Right.
But when we can share those things, now maybe you don't have to have that experience, right? It's the same thing that we talk about in terms of like the way that I understand parts of generational health is not being ashamed of those stories that can actually help the next generation not have to go through the same lesson.
Absolutely.
So I am all for this.
Absolutely.
All for this, Marquinta. Of course, I got to give you time because now folks want to know how they stay connected to SistahBoss and also how they get to the event, Making Boss Moves on the 20th. Look right there. Let them know.
Look in the camera. So Making Boss Moves happens on September 20th. We'll be at Bird Bar Place from 10 a.m. to 2:30. You can find us at SistahBoss on our website, which is sistahboss.net, www.sistahboss. You can also find us on our social media handles, which is at SistahBoss on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram. You can text me, you can call me, you can find us, okay? But I'm so excited about the event. I hope to see you there. Please share with your networks. If you know Black women who might be interested in this kind of event, please share the word. We can't wait to see you all there, and I cannot wait to be in conversation and connection with Miss Trae Holiday.
Wow. Marquinta, I'm
Thank you.
so looking forward to it. And it's so great to see you again.
So good to see you, my fellow bulldog.
Absolutely. Anytime
Thank
that
you.
SistahBoss has something you want to make sure folks know about, please don't forget that the Day with Trae is your home.
We
You
will
come
be
anytime.
back. Yes, I will be back. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. Y'all, what a great way to start off this week. You know I'm so inspired and engaged and locked in. I'll be wrapping it up right after this break. Stay tuned. You're watching The Day with Trae.
When I had my first child, I didn't really understand the impact of my using until I gave birth to him.
I worked in weapons department in the Navy. That's a work hard, play hard kind of place. It very much became apparent that I had a substance use disorder.
Nobody asked me if I was okay. It was just medications that were thrown at me for so many years.
I had some dental work done, and pain pills were introduced. It flipped a switch that I didn't see or know or understand.
The first time I recovered, my dad was the person, the rock. When he died, I had a severe relapse. It was one of the darkest times in my life because I had a taste of what recovery could feel like. A lot of shame came in.
And the grief about it was so huge that like I would have to drink to deal with what it felt like to be in my body.
I had lost the military career. I didn't have a place to stay. I was out of work. Seemingly overnight, I became a vehicle resident.
And that continued to kind of escalate my use, is being afraid to ask for help.
I tried multiple times to show up and be a parent to those kids, but I couldn't do the minimum. In my mind, they were safer where they were than they were with me.
It does. It takes a village of support. It takes a village of resources.
Getting all the things that kind of made me whole again happened because of the stabilization.
There is no part of my sobriety that would be possible if it wouldn't have been with help from others.
Every one of those people believed in my ability to live differently.
Each one of those people along my journey has contributed to my success.
Don't count us out.
More people recover with support.
Learn how you can help someone's recovery at supportaddictionrecovery.com.
Hey, it's your girl, Carolina Sanchez, and The Nightcap is the late-night show where no topic is off limits. Join me as we dive into the wild world of relationships, sex, and everything in between. From hilarious dating disasters to steamy secrets, you know we've got it all. We've got celebrity guests, expert advice, and a cocktail in hand. The Nightcap is your guilty pleasure. So grab your drink and tune in because the best stories start after dark.
The Nightcap. New episodes weeknights at 10:30 or stream anytime on Fox Soul.
Welcome back, y'all, to The Day with Trae. I'm your host, Trae Holiday. Huge shout out to Marquinta for being here from SistahBoss. And of course, we cannot forget that Nora Lux, one of our favorite businesses out here with Colina Bruce, is also co-founder of Making Boss Moves. And I'm so glad that she has her brilliance in the mix as well. This is such a phenomenal organization and collaboration of Black women doing dope things. Of course, if you're somebody out there who's like, I need to be there, I need to be a part of these workshops and this panel, please make sure that y'all find your way to Bird Bar Place on September 20th, 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. We will be there, and this event, I'm sure, will be a game changer for you all. Now, you know I'm inspired, not only because I get to participate, but also because there is such a great desire to connect with those of like mind who are wanting to give back to the community in such a dope way. And I see SistahBoss doing that. And of course, their event of the Making Boss Move Legacy Summit is a part of the whole entire puzzle, y'all. So make sure y'all tune in to what SistahBoss got going on. Follow them on socials, find their website. And huge shout out to Nora Lux. Oh, Colina, we love you. We appreciate you and all the work that you're doing to make events like this happen. Of course, y'all now can be inspired too, right? Because it doesn't matter what you do. If you start partnering up with folks of like mind and start building some legacy blocks of your own, trust and believe they will be beneficial to others. Thanks so much for watching, y'all, and I'll be back with you tomorrow. Until then, at 11 a.m. Peace.
Converge Media produces culturally relevant content for Black and urban audiences. Our coverage is raw, transparent, and objective, praised by community leaders, government officials, and residents. Support Converge Media today via Venmo, Cash App, or PayPal at Converge Media.